Well, this is for this young lady named Morgan Harris. I saw a short little clip that Karen McDonald put up, okay, related to the indigenous people, that she apparently went to the Winnipeg police and they didn't even have the honor, the dignity, the love, the compassion, naturally, and the empathy for life that represents the living, because that's who they are, okay? Now, Yellow Rose addressed this in one of her videos about who cops are in law enforcement. And of course, I've worked with a lot of them because I worked in wildland, structural fire. I actually worked in all phases of life protection, actually. And that's love and service to others, because we put life first. We put souls and living spirit first. Okay, which means a bird, a dog, a cat, anything that is injured. It means I'm going to experience a loss of energy in it, which is a loss of energy I will experience in me. So in order for me to return to what love is that goes on forever, gifting electrons, then I'm going to share the love that is within me to heal what has lost that energy. So I send you all my love through my heart and soul to connect with your heart and soul. The love I experience in me, you can experience in you, because I was experiencing your pain and your anger as a result of the lack of love, which is the lack of soul they have within them, because most of them are machines that operate off of artificial intelligence. I've known this since I was a child, girl, okay? And that's the battleground, because it's an invisible landscape, because it's not what you look like. Now, having said that, I realized, for example, I've used a number of different examples throughout my videos because I've met a lot of cops and a lot of firefighters. I've met guys that are worn uniform that have no more regard for life because they put their paycheck first. It's much like I mentioned before, what was his name? The guy that's in Germany that wasn't able to get prosecutors and judges to sign off on what they know within their own mind because the evidence has been presented before them. You can even show them the video. You could even show them in person, okay? But they will refuse, okay? Okay, to prosecute these people. And you know why that is? Because they're going to get whacked. Because they're getting paid by the mob, the Jesuits, the Vatican priesthood, those that have no love for life. So this is when you get into the energetic vampires, the demons, etc., and all the rest of it. Those that don't have a soul. They don't have an interest in life because they don't have any living life within them, which is what a soul is. So I already know their fate, which means they simply do not go on. So that brings up the next question. What do they have to lose? Nothing. They don't have anything to lose because they don't have a soul to lose. Okay? What matters to them is their paycheck, being able to survive another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, because they put themselves first above anything else. And that's service to self, which is the left-hand path. That's the underworld. That's the X side. Those are your machine side. That's the AI side of things here. Okay? So they were never real to me as a child because I was already aware by being old enough to look at a newspaper, translate the codes, and know that I was on a spiritual battlefield where there are energy wars, which is your consciousness, which is your soul consciousness. So the battlefield is the battle for your mind, which is your mind's energy, which is your soul's energy. So they love it when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling mad at them. They wring their hands and they love it because they're evil. So we know that we're on a spiritual battlefield. Love is the law. They don't obey the law, do they? Because they're not what love is. I can tell somebody, hey, I know what love is. Love is a vibration. But if you're not what love is and you're not experiencing that vibration, then they're not what that is unless they lost their soul and they don't have a soul left, so it's not going to matter. You're not going to change a psychopath way to become what love is if they don't have a soul. So this is where you get into accepting life on life's terms, right? Now you get into the director. Now you get into expectations. And when we have expectations on a demon to become something that is what love is, they're a demon. That's a fallen spirit. It doesn't have any love for you. It doesn't have love for mankind. It doesn't have love for souls, or it would experience what love is and be what love is as the highest law. So they do things that are against the law. So what are you going to do? You're going to remove everybody that wears a badge and a gun, that are the gatekeepers on behalf of the Westgate, which is the underworld, which means they're protecting demons, the bigger vampires. Otherwise, as we used to say when I was a child growing up, go get a real job. Oh, but we got to protect you. Protect us from what? The people that they're protecting are the people that are cutting their paychecks, which are energetic vampires, and that's easy to know. So what happens when you get a gazillion people that decide to say, I'm unplugging from that reality because I'm no longer going to provide you the energy for which this reality is being produced as a director of the Truman Show play, because we're going to go back to be with Mama and have a spiritual connection with Mama Earth and live like natives did. So we're no longer giving them energy because we know that Mama Earth has already given us everything that we need. And as soon as more and more beings connect their soul consciousness to the soul consciousness of Mother Earth to be in spirit love is, what do you think happens? Our perception, our vibration rises, and they can no longer experience what we are because they don't run that vibration. That means, bye, you're no longer aware of what they are because they're not feeding on us anymore to bring us down to their lower state. Right? Negative emotional reactions. They love to push our buttons. So you can go back in time to 408 AD as I remember it, even though there isn't any time for my energy, there's only what love is, to when the Roman Empire was sacked. Remember when Rome was sacked, right? That's when the tribes got together. So I experienced a few years ago, I think it was in 2016, no, I think it was 2018, and I realized that the elders of the native tribes and the clan mothers were going to come together and connect with each other and remember who we are, because we're all waking up to remember what we are in spirit in our mirror with our soul. Right? Even though I already know this war is over. So they're doing everything they can because they're desperate for food. And you want to know how I know that? Because I can hear them screaming. I'm an oversoul. Okay? So that means my heart and soul is connected to the center point of the magnetosphere in this planet. So that means that the echo chamber and all the frequencies, I can hear them starving for food. So you know when they're starving for food, we're done with them. And they know that. So they know they don't have anything to lose. And this is when Yellow Rose was very good when she showed us going to get burned off. Right? Isn't that what you do with something that's a parasite? Feeding on your energy because it doesn't have any love for you. Doesn't have any compassion. It's not kind, considerate, and shows that it cares. I mean, I met enough police officers and sheriffs and highway patrolmen that were actually very decent, kind, generous, benevolent, love and service beings. They do exist. Okay. So this is where the landscape, you're sorting through the landscape and you're realizing that in all the organizations that we work in and all the different jobs, you can find very decent, hardworking, benevolent people that want to live in a state of peace. They're generous and they live in love and service to others. They exist because I've experienced them. So I don't stereotype everything because it's the invisible landscape. It's not what you look like, it's what we do with our energy. And if we are in love and service to others, then we know we have a future, and we have a future that we're passing on to our children so that our children have a future. Right? Yeah, because that's what love is. Love goes on forever. I love you all. Have a great day. We love you, Megan. We love you all. Be good to yourselves. We won this. Sending you all my love from my heart and soul to you because I can see your picture when you were feeling hurt and you were feeling anger. Eternal love is here with you all. Okay? Be good to yourselves.